I had put forward that people are just, intrinsically good, like inside themselves, they're just good. That's really what I believe.
Okay, it's really hard to agree with you when you see such pain around us, a lot of wars, a lot of starvation. People are really unhappy. So how can you say that the people are intrinsically good doing such a bad things like wars, battlefields? They are dying on this wars. And there's so many conflicts are going around the world now.
I know it doesn't make sense. It does, it doesn't make sense on one level, but okay, let me explain. If we go back to Plato and Confucius, two different parts of the world, okay? Both of them believed we were good, inside ourselves we were good. Now, what happens though is we're not trained. We're trained, to be something. So in our culture, like when I was growing up, my parents wanted me to be something. So, be a teacher or go to school and be something, because they come up from the country to the city and they didn't believe they were modern or whatever.
That is
So
how it works.
yeah, that's okay. But when you have to be something, you believe that the something you wear isn't good. It's bad.
Okay.
Because you don't go, well, it's not good, but it's okay. You go, no, if I'm not good, I'm bad. So
Okay.
automatically in your mind, we have this good, and so you believe in being something. I'm inside myself, I'm bad. And then you reflect that around other people that you see. So you say they're being good, but that's just a front. They're actually bad. If given a chance, they would do bad things. So, you look at, I don't know, the books or the movies like, what's the one they have, the island, the kids are on the island, Lord of the Flies, left on the island, the kids, it all, doesn't end very well. So we're all taught, survival of the fittest, dog eat dog. So the culture is set up on this, we see each other as inside as bad, really, So what Confucius and Plato said, no, we're good, but that never got trained, our parents didn't understand that, and then our grandparents. So we, as kids, that's our culture. Our culture is like, you need to watch out for yourself,
Okay.
And then also when you go to school, it's rankings. You're ranked against, competing against somebody else. So you're like watching out for somebody else, and they're bad because if they get your notes or to get your so yeah. So initially we are good. I totally believe that, but it needs to be
Okay.
put into the culture. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned survival of the fittest, but this is the Bible of naturalists, of the people who think that they are really were standing on the earth and they are really thinking, let's say, logically.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the Bible, let's talk about the religions. All the religions, they have in the holy books goodness and no killings. Okay, why all this religion doesn't work? I mean, why it doesn't work in the world?
Well, I think the same. I think like Plato and Confucius, I think the original spiritual texts, if you go back in Buddhism, Catholicism, all the original spiritual texts have this goodness, that we are good. But what happens is the people who bring the texts out into society tend not to be those original people, and they've lost the transmission. So they missed the transmission that says they don't feel they're good, and so that when they're teaching somebody or they're talking to somebody about the texts, it gets distorted, and it begins to go, well, yeah, you're good, but you need to watch out for yourself, and all of a sudden it's changed.
Okay. You mentioned already about the education. How do you assess the role of education system at all in this process of covering our indigenous goodness?
Well, like education has a role, but within your house, by the time you go to school, you've already worked out whether you're good or bad. You know, a tiny child is
So
absorbed.
all the schools are bad? I
No, no,
mean, this
no,
is
no, no. But I'm saying the schools need to come in behind what you already learned in your house. Yeah. So we need to make sure that that in the house you're taught from zero that you're good. And then when you go to school, the schools need to come in behind that and continue that to say, no, you're good. It does not, you can compete. People can compete, but not competing, looking over your shoulder, thinking the other person is bad, just competing to be, yeah, to excel at your abilities. But so I'm saying schools have a role, but you've already formed an opinion in your house
okay, that you are not enough, good
that
enough.
you're not good enough and you need to be something. So at that point, even if the school comes in afterwards, you're already feeling you're bad. So I'm going back to the original, you know, parents, we need to do it. We need to make sure that our kids feel you're just good. Yeah.
Okay. How do you see the role of media? I mean, YouTube or television in the process of the spreading, um, spreading the poverty or the battlefields, all this, let's say, bad stuff which is spreading around the world. And
Well, the media is part of the culture. So all you have is you've got grown up children running the media who feel bad about themselves. So that's the culture. Everybody, if you don't do what Plato and Confucius say and start at the beginning and people feel good, then everybody, when they grow up into places of authority in media or any organizations, they're going to take that feeling of badness, looking over your shoulder, dog eat dog. And that's when we create contracts. We want to have a contract because I don't trust the other person. We organize all these boundaries because we look and we go, there's boundaries for. So policies, procedures, building structures, the whole culture begins to form around the foundation that we're not good people. And yet this is what Plato and Confucius totally were against. They said, no, we are intrinsically good. But we need to make sure that this is instilled in the tiny baby, continued in the child, and then the systems and policies and procedures are set up to embody that.
yeah,
Yes.
embody this. Okay, I guess. So, do you think it's possible to change this situation? How shall we start this change? I guess this is big change.
Yeah, you look, as you said, you look around, you see the wars, you see poverty.
Yeah.
These are the effects of people feeling bad about themselves. It's very obvious to me, you know, because you're looking at other countries thinking they're bad, I'm not bad, or it affects, literally when you see all the media, it's very obvious that that's an entanglement of people feeling bad. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just we lost the message. We lost the message from Plato and Confucius. Interestingly, they were in two different parts of the world, you know, saying that we are good and we need to then instill this in people. And that was what they were saying is a sovereign person, both Confucius and Plato, a sovereign person is a person who feels they're just good. They're good inside. They have a foundation within themselves that they're just good.
Okay, so you think that we have to change all the babies' mentality, or we should wait until the current population disappear?
These are the decisions. No, we can't wait. That's the first thing. We can't wait because there's wars and poverty and suffering. There's a lot of suffering. We have to be the parents to ourselves. We have to feel good, you and I. You know, each of us has to feel good. We have to start with a floor underneath ourselves to build that goodness, to rebuild, be a parent and rebuild that goodness within ourselves.
How to start with yourself? How you should start as a personal, as a being, human being?
You have to understand that what you were told is not true. You have to begin to see it as but that makes no logic. Why would you be bad? You were this tiny little baby. You were obviously not bad. Come on, like
sure.
it's not, you know, you see a little baby coming out and you go, oh, come on, that baby is good, has to be good. So we can think that each of us are that baby. Each of us are that little baby. So we need to just regain It's almost like re-embrace that goodness that's just there as a tiny baby. And the rest is just something we believed, but it was wrong. It was wrong. And then
So
begin to
all our
unravel.
beliefs are wrong?
Well, if your beliefs are based on the feeling that you're bad, and you can track that belief back to feeling you're bad,
It's bad.
it's not correct, you know. So there's an unraveling that happens within your system that says, hold on a minute, loads of things that I did in my life, I did in my life, I did because I felt I was bad, you know. After my divorce, I felt I was a bad person. I lay on a bed a year ago with a spinal problem in my back, in pain, in absolute pain. And I cried and said, I am not a bad person. So I had associated the pain with being a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So this is this is crazy that I would feel in my life. Automatically, my go-to is, oh, I'm a bad person.
Okay, so you think there is a hope for humanity?
I feel loads and loads of hope. I'm not saying that it's not a big challenge. But yes, if we know what humans are amazing. Once they know this is what we need to do, we put a man on the moon, we've airplanes, we've done so many amazing things. So if humans know, look, here's a target, this is what we need to do, and we can garnish everybody together, I think it's doable. We just need to know this is, for me, the main thing we need to be doing at the moment. Because otherwise the wars, we see them, they're just continuing, the poverty. Where's the solution? Yeah. You're in a spiral, you're in a complex spiral. You can't get out of that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin.